let's get started, man. Another day. Sync. Alright, so quite often you'll hear people say that music is a language. And if that is actually the case, then we can use the ways we speak and improve our speech to inspire the ways we make music and therefore improve our chord progressions in a similar way. Let's take a note. A note can be thought of as a letter, a musical letter to be specific. And when we take letters and put them together, we get words. So a chord can be thought of as a word. And when we put words together, we get sentences. So a chord progression can be thought of as a musical sentence, if that makes any sense, because we're putting words together. Now, in real life, languages have multiple words that hold the same or similar meanings. And sometimes those words can come from a completely different language. Think of words like rendezvous, café, crescendo, even karaoke, for example. And these borrowed words come and make the English language a little bit more interesting, and the same thing applies to music. And that's what we're going to be doing in this first lesson. We're going to look at borrowed chords. And again, you don't have to understand everything right now, because this is more of an introductory lesson to show you my process. Now, in our major keys, we have 7 basic chords. Chord number 1 is a major chord. Number 2 is minor. Number 3 is also minor. Number 4 is major. Number 5 is also major. Number 6 is minor. Number 7 is diminished. And then back to number 1. And we can think of these basic chords as the vocabulary or the words that we can use to build basic sentences in the language of C major. And then we can start borrowing other chords from other languages like C minor, for example. So let's build an idea. And the idea that I have in mind is pretty basic. We have chord number 1 into 4 and then 5, and then it's going to go back to chord number 1. But the timing is going to be a little bit different. So let's build those. So we have 1 into the 4, into the 5, and then back to 1. And then to build those chords, we have root, skip a note, land on the next one, skip a note, land on the next one, and skip, and then skip this one, land there, and then back to the 1. And the first thing that I'm going to do is change the timing of the chords. So this one, I'll move it to the next bar, and then do this. We got that. So now we get something like this. Now, like we said in the beginning, we're trying to improve our chord progressions. And the keyword here is improve. And that means we're not trying to strike gold on the first attempt, but instead take something that is foundational, regardless of how basic or bad it sounds, and work on it until we get something that is satisfactory. Now, this is where we're going to start borrowing chords from other keys. We're going to be borrowing from the key of C minor. And an easy way to get started is to borrow the chords that hold the same number in the other key that you want to borrow from. And since I want to keep that C major tonality, I'm going to keep the C major there. But I'm going to remove this chord number 4 and chord number 5 and take the new ones from our C minor key. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which is F minor, and chord number 5 as well. So let's borrow those right there, and then I'm going to adjust the timing to be similar to what we had. Now, this is still not revolutionary, but that's because of how the notes are being played. Everything is in root position. So we're going to start inverting the chords or rearranging the notes of the chords to get interesting results. And the things that I aim for are smooth motion between the chords, so either half steps or whole steps. And I try to make sure that the top line feels like a melody. Now, since we're going to be moving chords around, things can get messy really fast. So I'm going to take these root notes and just move them down an octave so that I know what I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna move these down, and you just can go with vibes, to be honest. It already sounds better. And then for everything to flow clean, move these down as well. And again, it's just vibes, but we also gotta listen. So we have, okay, I like this. Da, da, da. And this is what I mean when I say the flow from chords to chords, because I wanted to have more of a melodic aspect to it, especially in the top line. So this goes there, and we also have some inner movements here and there. It's just a little bit smoother. So that's what I'm looking for when I rearrange these notes. Now, since these two chords are literally the same, then what we can do is play them differently so that they can have different feel. And again, we don't have to overthink this. I can just remove this top note and remove this bottom note here. Both of these are still F minor, but they feel different because the order of notes has changed. And we can create a B section with the same chords, but again, play them a little bit differently to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna move this up an octave. So now we have that same movement that I was singing, but with chords under it. And again, it's no fancy chords, no sevenths, no extended dominant 9 flat 13. We'll talk about those, of course. I love them, but you don't have to have those to get an interesting chord progression. We just have C major into F minor again, but played differently, and then G minor back to C minor. Simple as that. I hear some strings, and one way to add more instruments to your arrangements is by bringing it in a little bit earlier than the next measure. And the way I'm going to introduce it is by copying these top notes and playing that on the violin as well.